So a few days ago, I uploaded a video, and some of the comments seemed to believe that I was, like negative on the patch or something. I simply used a factual statement in my thumbnail saying we messed up with Jonathan Rogers' face, which, unless they were intending to put bugs in the game, factually, it was a mistake. It was a mess up. I didn't mean anything by it other than exactly what you read. In fact, I was very, very positive about the game in the video, which shows people don't actually watch the video sometimes. They get all the information they think that they need from the cover, from the thumbnail. So, um, yeah, I just want to say that, I just want to open up the video with that. I I'm not incorrect in saying that they messed up. They will tell you that they messed up with all the bugs that are in the game. Otherwise, though, other than that, the game has gone through a massive, 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 massive improvement. And today, in this video, I would like to go over the new patch notes for 0.5.1. Now, these came out maybe 3 days ago. I think 2 days ago, though. And I just haven't been able to get around to making this video. I've been working or hanging out with my fiance, who, had her birthday yesterday. Well, her birthday was 2 days ago, but yesterday we did a lot more to celebrate it because I worked most of the day on the 7th or on the 6th. So we kind of celebrated her birthday for 2 days, like more like 1.5, but I worked half the day. But anyway, big patch, big patch. And this kind of just shows like that I was right. Like if they weren't mistakes, they wouldn't have anything to fix. There's a lot of things to fix, and there's still a lot of game breaking bugs in the game right now. For example, maybe I'll be able to remember to put my clip here. Oh. I was doing, if you do Rite of the Nameless and you go into the map with the hyena boss, because of the hyenas that are supposed to be like on the ledges, you cannot complete the boss and do the final altar, which literally breaks your Rite of the Nameless run, by the way. You basically have to re-challenge the whole area with a regular map, which means that it isn't a part of your Rite of the Nameless. You miss out on the piece that you would use to fight the Bodak, and you walk away from your Rite of the Nameless with at max 4 stacks, or of course if you have the passive point, 5. But like you don't ever get that like full super juice 5 to 6 a boss fight, every map fight. And unfortunately, if you run Jado, I believe, who I'm running, and you have whenever you use a corrupted map, it adds an additional modifier and changes the map. So you're not, if you're doing Vol Cities, sometimes for many builds, for many characters, for many people, they believe that city maps aren't very chillax to do. They like more open maps, which I as well prefer. So I've been changing these city maps into other types of maps, and I have RNG'd 2 different Rite of the Nameless runs, gotten the hyena boss map, and then I just bricked it twice in a row. Very, very, very frustrating. That's still a massive bug that is in the game, and I also still crash sometime. Well, okay. To be fair, they fixed 99.9% of the crashes. I've crashed maybe like once a day for the last 2 days, but the big thing is I am still like, sometimes my character will just get hit by, my PC got hit by the chilled ground, where I'll just be like jumping, lagging across the screen. Like I'm not shitting you. My screen paused, like my screen froze. I immediately pressed escape, and behind my game paused screen, because I pressed escape, genuinely like 10 to 20 seconds of gameplay happened behind it where my character's like moving all over the place because it was getting my inputs, but the game was essentially lagging far behind. Like visually for me, I was seeing like what happened 10 seconds ago because it had been lagging and like slowing down and freezing every second. Very frustrating. But they're fixing a lot of shit. So they added 24 additional passive skill points to the top of the Atlas passive tree. They affect individual biomes. Pretty good. Of course, if you're trying to complete the whole Atlas tree, you'll get all of these. Pretty nice in general just to have more stats. This is basically just 24 points of free juice. They didn't take anything away. They just gave us 24 points. And what I also like that they did was that they made it so that the points are actually like on the maps that are already existent. They didn't add more maps or say you need to do more maps. Now, instead of getting 3 Atlas passive points for doing one of like the precursor towers on the wall of the fortress, you get 4. And for other maps, you get other ones. So basically, right after they did this patch, I logged in. I had 21 free passive points, which is almost as many new skills that they added to the tree. So, oh yeah, here we go. Fortress towers, gateways, enigma chambers, and halls will now award more Atlas passive points. Players who have already completed these areas will be granted additional passive points upon logging in. Okay, maps that are available to select from Rite of the Nameless are now much more clear. Yeah, the first Rite of the Nameless that I did, like the very first one, I was very confused what was going on. But on future ones, I was like, oh, okay. Like, whenever you select your Rite of the Nameless in the Sierra Leone, it is very, very obvious where you can go with it. Like the nodes light up purple and they glow, and like there's like something swirling around them. Pretty cool. Delirium Fob can no longer sped to maps that grant Atlas passive skills. Okay, it's probably good. Additional rare spawn when additional whatever is going to spawn or not. Okay, yeah, so they actually did a bunch of fixes and kind of like buffs to Breach, just adding more things. So additional rares are spawned when Unstable Breach stabilizes, will now always spawn, regardless if rune's going to spawn or not. He will now spawn after all the rares are killed. Breach monster density now correctly increases the number of monsters in the breach. Very, very good. Obviously, just more monsters, more loot, more happy, more XP even. This now stacks additively with pack size. Relevant descriptions will be updated in the future patch. Summoning circles added to maps are now described as containing a single summoning circle with multiple reactivation runes. Reactivation runes now describe what they do and have been made easier to notice. So I've noticed this because I've been going into some summoning circles because I've been doing ritual. Here's a problem that I have seen. I have done probably at least 100 ritual activations, at least, in the last 2 to 3 to 4 days. However long I've been doing ritual, I don't actually know. Time flies whenever I'm playing. But I've definitely done at least, I'd say probably somewhere around 75 plus ritual activations. I have never once yet seen a summoning circle in a ritual, which is very, very odd because there is a whole point that says summoning circles can, be in rituals. So, or in ritual altars, or ritual altars can be in a summoning circle, or something like that, right? So, something to that extent. I can't remember where it's from. It's probably from the ritual passive tree, I would assume. But yeah, that hasn't happened a single time. So there's now a checkpoint besides the summoning circle. I think this is just generally nice. More checkpoints, more navigation, whatever. Reactivation runes now correctly add additional charges if activated before the summoning circle and no longer breach the circle. I really like this. It's just simple. It doesn't matter whether you do the reactivation rune first or the summoning circle first. You're gonna get multiple summoning circle activations out of that. The Tear Open the Breach Rift Atlas passive skill is now multi-choice with options to have the effect active or inactive. Okay, so that's just more choice for Breach players. That should be a good thing. I don't really know what it does because Breach is one of the 2 mechanics that I really have not touched. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure exactly what this is, but just more choice is nice, obviously. Improve the telegraphing for the Bodak slamming Virdi's tree. Okay, it says that, right? But I swear I didn't see a damn thing and I got one shot by the tree. Literally today, literally like an hour ago. So on stream. So I have no idea what happened there. But it's fine. I just fought him again and then I beat him that time. Bodak, by the way, is one of like the coolest fights. I can't wait to talk about him in the Simply Divine podcast. Panning to a location on the endgame map, closing, then reopening your map in the same instance will now reopen to the same area you pan to. Okay, that's nice. Nice QOL there. Runes of Elder changes. The waves created by the title room will no longer knock you back. This is very, very good. This was, you could get swept up in a wave and you're just dead instantly. It like wasn't anything to do with the like the remnant encounter itself. It's just like, yeah, we decided to summon a wave here and then you died to it. Okay. All right. I guess there's a wave on land now. Super. During the campaign, Pharaoh will now point towards the reveal the runes in the areas he is in. That's pretty nice. That is very good. Revealing the runes in the areas is insanely good. This was going to be one of my biggest issues with the campaign for sure. Implementing all the different like league mechanics into the campaign is cool and all, right? Because Abyss was kind of already there and did that, and like same with I can't think of his name. It starts with a D. The guy for the Ismeri spirits. He's also there, but some of the other mechanics like now they have added. You know, you meet Aloy or Aloy for I don't know exactly how you say her name. The woman for the ritual, and then you'll see her later in the end game whenever you go to see her, whatever the hell it's called. I keep calling it Sierra Leone, but I don't think that's it. I think that's a place in Wizard 101. I think I'm getting confused with that. But Gwen no longer continues to appear after the Medvedvals to fight after you've already spoken to her. Obviously, that's good. Fixed a bug. Bug fix always good. More lore. Okay, player changes. New lineage support at Zeri's Communion. Zeri's Communion is actually really, really good. Very good. I've seen it. It's basically, I believe it is reservation skill. You put on a reservation skill, and most of the reservation reserves from your life pool. I believe that's what it does. I've seen it. Fubgun literally already put it in his build on a gem, so it is clearly good, and clearly has its place in the game. Also, just another drop for Zeri. Cool. WVol Temple players. Added 40 new elemental passive skills near jewel sockets, mainly around the sorceress, witch, and druid areas of the passive skill tree. Now, I have not been playing these classes this league, but I've heard really good things from the people who have, especially from the Plant Daddy build and the Jin build that DS Lily is playing. Logging out and in again now preserves your Heavy Sun buildup. Logging out while Heavy Sun will now restart the Heavy Sun animation when you log in again, unless you log into a different place where you logged out. I said it in my last video. Log out cheese is very cringe. If you use it, you are cringe. It's just the way it is. People who do like the immediate, like people who are doing the log out tech to like dodge dying in hardcore, bro, like you've already died in my mind at that point. Like your character is over. You're just being cringe. Come on, bro. Why even play the mode? Genuinely, like why even do that? Like yeah. Then you could say like, and people will say, well, I mean, fix these dog shit systems and we won't have to do like the logout bugging. Bro, what, you clicked hardcore knowing that these systems are in the game. Play with them, play around them, or don't. Like, it is what it is. The cold, lightning, and fire 2-minute support gems are no longer limited to supporting just these attacks. They also grant 25% damage as extra cold, lightning, or fire damage, respectively. Wait, what? Oh. So they can be used on spells now too. Damn, they just get everything. Okay, yeah, they don't support just attacks. They can be used on spells. Ice Bite 2 support no longer freezing just attack. Okay, yeah, we're doing that. Okay, so all the support gems almost that are like based off of attacks, a few of them are becoming just general. for all the different elements. Connective Runes now has a base critical strike chance of 7%. Reputation cooldown no longer recovers while the buff is active. So I've heard like big things. So these are basically straight up nerfs to some skills and stuff like that. Guys, I know that GGG has set a precedent before. They said they weren't going to do mid league nerfs. I think 0.4 genuinely ruined them. I think, and I'm saying that in a good way. I am happy 0.4 Vol Temple kicked their ass because, man, like, I'm fine. I am perfectly fine. I was running Abyss and Abyss got nerfed, and I am perfectly fine with that. I do not think that they should ever allow, and also they re-nerfed Vol Temple to make the new snaking strategy that was being developed not work. Right? I think that this is very important. I don't think, as much as you want to say, wah, my build, wah, my favorite mechanic, it's not worth ruining an entire league. Many people, right? Many people, maybe they didn't like Vault Temple, so they quit playing, right? And then the people who were like okay with Vault Temple, or maybe the people who didn't like Vault Temple did keep playing, but they just wanted to play the other mechanics. Well, as the league went on in 0.4, anybody who paid any attention to the league whatsoever knows that basically Vol Temple printed like 3 billion divines an hour, and it went basically completely unchecked for the entire duration of the league, completely obliterated the economy. And if you were playing any other mechanic, if you were maining any other mechanic in Trade League, you fell so massively behind to just any old average Joe who was going to put some work into their Vault Temple that it was just, you might as well just not even have been playing the game. And I believe with my whole heart that they should 100% do mid-league nerfs to strong, like to big outliers of balance. Whether that is classes, they nerfed Flicker Strike, league mechanics, they nerfed the Vault Temple Snake, new Snake, they nerfed the drop rates of Abyss rares. I believe that's what they did. And what did they do? They made it so that you cannot reach a true free rerolls on Ritual. 3 different nerfs that they've done to the league, and then they also said, maybe that was a little too much. Then they actually gave Abyss a little buff, which we're going to go over here in a second. But other than that, right, this is just general changes. Elite Abyss monsters have had their damage, loot, and experience. Oh, there we go. I didn't even have to make shit up. Abyss monsters have had their damage, loot, and experience lowered. So they're easier to kill, but their loot and XP is lowered, while much more significantly reducing the amount of life that they had. I mean, obviously, I think that is very good. They were pretty damn ridiculous. But yeah, due to that, they reduced the XP and the loot. Lightning Tendrils used by Shepherd of the Pit deals 70% less damage. Okay, constant damaging wave after High Fortress starts collapsing no longer knocks you down while sprinting. Thank God. I hate random things that just like, I hate things that don't feel like they should knock you down that just do. Skills that are unusable because you don't have enough divinity are grayed out correctly. Good. Just nice, good UI. Hirano, the meat carver, now deals 28% less damage. Okay, so that is nerf to that boss. Spawns a portal back to Freya where the Dark Mist quest is active. I think that's obviously very good. Just more QOL for the campaign. Ancestral tattoos in the Hall of Dead are now easier to find. That's also very good. Also more campaign QOL. Modifiers combine modifiers. Keyboard and strong default alt. Updated the visual style of keyword underline. Activated a button with a path flex file website and market panel playing controller. Add a pseudo set summon reduces pseudo. Okay. So, and then a ton of bug fixes. So let's move on to this. Another little patch. Now they've done a whole bunch of other little hot fixes, but most of those were just little like bug fixes for the most part. This one I did want to go over specifically just because I knew I was going to mention this. Monsters with a Manamu's Void will now try and leave the void if their target is not in it and return if their target is in it. Very, very frustrating to get them out of the void. If you get them out of the void, you're basically guaranteed to get an omen. And obviously that is a big part of farming Abyss. But they were just extremely frustrating. And on top of that, the uptime of their void has been lowered from 90% of the time to 50% of the time. Now, I wasn't sure if my friend maybe said that there's a possibility that this actually made it harder to farm, because if the void is only up 50% of the time, then bringing them out of it to do the to get the omen is going to be like, you know, actually more annoying, because their void that you have to bring them out of will only be up half the time. Now, Fubgun said, and I am this is kind of how I thought about it, and Fubgun kind of like confirmed this, at least, unless he's also wrong, that it's not that you have to specifically bring them out of the void, it's that they just have to die outside of the void. So if they're not even using the void half the time, then it's fine. Like, you're good. That's a good thing. That is further above. So 40% of the time you could basically just kill them, not even have to worry about dragging them away. And whenever they do have the void up, you should be able to drag them away a lot easier. So, Omen of Sinistral Eraser, Omen of Dextral Eraser, Omen of Sinistral Annulment, Omen of Dextral Annulment, Omen of the Blessed, and Omen of the Sanctification can now generate in rituals above level 79 and above instead of level 80 and above. Basically, what this means is that you don't have to irradiate. Sorry, you don't have to irradiate or have to tier 16 your Abyss map, or not your Abyss maps, your ritual maps, which is relevant to me because I'm farming Abyss right now, or oh my god, ritual right now. And then fix a bug, fix an instance crash. So that's basically it. That's the video I had today. I haven't had a lot of time. Like I said, I've been pretty much busy doing a bunch of shit the last 2 days. And I've also been working a lot this last week. So I figured, we talk about this because I do have a lot to say regarding this topic and regarding the some of the comments on my last video. So with all that being said, thank you all for watching. Great changes coming to the game. Amazing, incredible job by the devs. And they just keep going. They were on Zizern's podcast today. I did not get to watch this. I did not get to watch it yet. If I go into work tomorrow, I'm probably just going to put it on as a podcast to listen to, which is going to be very, very fun. It's going to, speed run 2 hours of my day, chilling with some dope ass podcast in my ear. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Comment, like, subscribe, do all the things, and I'll see you in the next video. And my cat just knocked their food down to eat it out of the bag.